Great. Any big capital improvements over the next 5 years? I'm sure you'll have a city master plan. Is that something that's recrafted annually, or something that's constantly updated, or every 5 years? How does that work, Mark?
We do our capital budgeting every year, but we do it on a 10-year forecast so that we're always looking out 10 years. And we've got master plans where it makes sense to have them in our downtown with our parks. This year, we probably got more capital projects going than any city our size anywhere. I mean,
really?
it's a very aggressive program that we're working on. Really focuses a great deal on our parks and on our neighborhoods.
Right.
It also, with the business school coming, we're building a parking garage that is a very expensive prospect in the downtown area. We're cleaning up an old landfill that has needed to be cleaned up.
Right.
We're expanding and improving our airport.
Great.
So we've got a lot of things going on, a lot of community-focused, neighborhood-focused projects. We're excited about it.
That really must be, I've got to ask, is that an international airport with the BMW presence here and probably a lot of flights coming in from all over?
Well, the big Greenville Spartanburg airport
Okay.
is definitely an international airport.
Yes.
And supports us very well. And
Right.
then we also have our little local city airport,
Forgive
which
me,
is a general aviation airport.
Right.
And we think both of them are serving us well.
Yeah. Mark, you know, so much happens within a city, and when you think about capital improvements, obviously you highlighted some big ones. I believe there's a big community center. Is there a community or a cultural center not far from here that we may have passed last week, going to one of the local restaurants?
Yeah,
A magnificent, beautiful facility.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I hope you get a chance to spend some time there, and I hope everyone in the state gets a chance.
Yes.
It's a brand new Spartanburg Cultural Center, which it's run by the Arts Partnership of Greater Spartanburg. It has a 500-seat theater, beautiful, intimate theater, and it's got museums, and it's got dance studios, and it's reaching out to our entire community.
That's tremendous. Mark, what's a typical day like for you? Is there such thing as a typical day? Of course, this is a Thursday morning. You're sitting here in the auditorium on TV at 7 a.m. for a station down in the Myrtle Beach area. But what's a typical day like for you if you weren't here in the auditorium at 7 a.m.?
I think what's nice about being a city manager is there's no typical day. And one day I may be working on public safety issues. Another day I may be working on city planning issues. It just will change by the needs of the day. It's always focusing on people issues. It's always focusing on how do we do the best to reach out to the people in our community that need our help the most and want to have our support in living their lives the comfortable way they'd like to live them. So I'd say the typical day is just trying to remind people that what we're really trying to do is serve the people who live here.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Well, I'm so fascinated driving through the community last week during the pageant and seeing how the community really wrapped around folks from all over the state. That's a great example, probably one of the best examples annually of people traveling in, and you know they're coming in from all parts of the state because it is literally young ladies representing all parts of the state. But to see a lot of smiling faces, it's kind of like the state motto, the smiling places, or smiling faces, beautiful places. I mean, this is a great testament of that. A lot of arms open, a lot of hands waving at many of the contestants and their families from all over the state.
Well, you just said it. And I think this is the thing that people don't understand about pageants these days. It's families. When you look at the contestants who were here last week with the Miss South Carolina pageant, they're walking on the streets and you see the entire families are part of this. It is a great family event that hits Spartanburg. Several hundred people come in, just contestants, and then all of the families that come with them. We have a great time with this program. The entire community reaches out, and they reach out to us. There's really a two-way involvement. It's just a really renewing kind of experience to watch these terrific young women of all ages, because they bring in little kids as well as the contestants that are the ones you see on TV. And they are such good kids.
Right.
They're just clean-cut, wonderful kids. So we love having this pageant in our city.
Well, I know there were hundreds coming in from that. Joe Sanders was with us on Monday. And, of course, last week I was sequestered from the crowd as one of the judges of the pageant. But he had shared that earlier in the week, one of the days where they opened it up to even local citizens, I think this is a 3,000-seat auditorium, he said one day it was packed, where they charged only $5 to let folks in to come see some of the rehearsals. But literally, there must be a lot of folks, as you say, from the community who are really wrapping around. I'm sure it's not just for the Miss South Carolina pageant. Probably a lot of other great events that you all host up here, particularly with all these college students up here, that the community wraps around.
Yeah, it's the fun of being in a community this size. In Beverly Hills, you wouldn't even know when some big event hit town because there's always a big event.
Oh, yeah.
In a town like Spartanburg, everybody knows what's going on. It's really fun.
We've just got 5 minutes, Mark, and you highlighted some of the tremendous families here. Do you have family? You mentioned your daughter, I think, in Richmond. You've got a son as well, I believe, and is your bride here as well?
That's right. My wife's doing great work here. She's working as the executive director of the Children's Museum of the Upstate, which is in Greenville. We would rather have her in Spartanburg, but she can't fundraise in my backyard because I'm a city manager. So she's the next town over in Greenville, and they're creating a great place. The Children's Museum there will be a great place, and I think everybody will be real proud of the work she and her group have done in that community as well.
And your son, is he here as well, or?
He just decided he's a Californian and moved back. He's 24, and I think it's okay. He's got a good job with an exhibit design firm, and he's having some fun.
Your daughter's still on the East Coast.
She's on the East Coast, working in Richmond, Virginia, and she's also doing well. So
that is great.
We're happy.
You know, of course, for you there, when you were living in California and the city manager there in Beverly Hills, as you said, you were commuting into Beverly Hills. Here, you're actually able to live in the city of Spartanburg.
Absolutely, and that's the joy of the whole experience. I am literally 5 minutes from my office now, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with these CDs that I used to play all the way through and then some on one trip into work. And now I can't get through 2 songs, so I've got excess CDs if anyone needs them.
I can't believe it. In a city where it's all about bikes, I see a lot of biking going on. I probably won't be surprised till the day comes when you start biking to the office. It looks, there's bikes all over. Right here in front of the auditorium, there's a bike statue.
We have a new tribute that was just done to John Bryan, who started the Assault on Mount Mitchell program years ago. Major biking event in this country. Right. And John is just retiring from that role, and they just put up a tribute to him out in front of the auditorium. This is the first designated bike-friendly city in all of South Carolina.
Come on.
By the League of American Cyclists. And we've got the bronze designation, and this community is going for gold. We're going to try to get the gold.
That is tremendous. What's got to happen to get the gold? Do you know? There's a lot of work, I'm sure.
I think, among other things, the city manager has to start riding his bicycle to work.
We're going to get it on camera.
That's right.
I love it. God, well, you know, there are so many amazing, and of course, to think about the 12,000 students when they matriculate to town annually, that does not impact your permanent population. So your city really grows in size, albeit you can't take credit for that on the city population side.
Right. We will claim them any way we can claim them. They're good kids, and this is a community that gets along with its college kids. So we want them all to come here and enjoy 4 years, or if they're like me, more than 4 years of their college life in Spartanburg. And then we want them to come back later and either move or bring their families or start their businesses.
Or graduate school here, and the MBA program, I believe, which you said is moving into the heart of town.
Right
into downtown, which is a great testament to the city. Obviously, some tremendous business schools nationwide, right in the heart of folks' downtowns, but a lot of folks wouldn't be moving in normally. That's a great testament to what you all must be doing right here in the heart of town.
Yeah, we're excited.
You know, speaking of bike riding, that's a great hobby for a lot of folks. What do you do for fun, Mark?
I got to tell you, my job is fun. I mean, I don't have a good answer for your question. I never work a day in my life. What I do gives me so much chance to interact with the community, whether it's going to the different churches, whether it's going to the events that happen in this town. I'm constantly engaged in one aspect or another of the civic community.
That's tremendous. Well, it shows, Mark. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to a little more of Mark Scott, the city manager for the city of Spartanburg, coming up next. Viewers, I know you're sitting out there thinking, Greg, why didn't you ask Mark, what do you like best about the city of Spartanburg? I'll tell you why, because he would have been talking and talking and talking, and the interview would have gone on. I would have never had a chance to get another question in there. Didn't you get the sense of that? Sitting here, a lot going on in the city of Spartanburg, a lot of amazing things, not only here in the auditorium, not only out on the streets as folks are bike riding all over, not only when all the students are rolling into town and big international festivals are being held or July 4th events. There's things going on here on a year-round basis, day in and day out. Mark Scott and all the employees in the city are making a difference every day. Learn a little more about that from their mayor, Bill Barnett. Come back tomorrow to learn more about the city of Spartanburg. Mark, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.